Hi, nerds! This is our next makeup video. This is the last of this batch. I have a whole list. I was going to try and get to a couple more fan submissions or viewer submissions, I guess is more appropriate. But that didn't happen this round. I will knock 2 of those out next time we sit down to do some reactions. Because I do have a list of those as well. Not quite as long, but still. So we are talking about a new band called Psychosexual. There's a story here. We're going to do the intro first. Okay, so story time, children. How am I going to tell this? Normally, I would not have a history with this band. Nobody would have a history with this band because they're a new band. This is their first record that they're putting out. The only history we would have is the lead singer for Psychosexual used to be the drummer for Five Finger Death Punch. So that kind of sets the stage a little bit. That being said, I feel like Psychosexual is not the same, even kind of the same level in any way as Five Finger Death Punch. And I'm saying that in a bad way, not in a good way. Because a lot of people like to hate on Five Finger Death Punch because they're easy to listen to. Generally is a bad thing in the metal community. I don't mind Five Finger Death Punch. I wouldn't pay to see them. I won't turn the station if they come on the radio. I don't listen to the radio much, but that's neither here nor there. So that being said, I do have a little bit of a history with Psychosexual because I've already done a reaction video that you haven't seen probably. It was up for, this one didn't ever actually make it up. I made a very stupid mistake on the reaction video for it, and I didn't have any audio. So I didn't catch it until I was going to upload it, and somebody pointed it out on a different video, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, it was really stupid. It was a rookie mistake. Everyone makes them from time to time. I'm still a rookie at doing the reaction videos, but I guess that brings us to the disclaimer. Not a rookie at making music. I have been playing music for more than 3/4 of my life. I am in my mid-30s at this point. I have been playing music to some degree for approximately 30 years. I have been doing it professionally for about 20 years. I have been doing professional production work for about 20 years. I did a little bit less on the production than the playing, but still, it's been a long time. So I've made a lot of mistakes. I have also made a lot of music, so I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm talking about. That's why I decided I wanted to do these, because I'm trying to give people vocabulary to defend why they do or do not like certain things. That being said, this is a reaction and analysis video. I am going to be talking over the song. I'm going to be replaying sections. We're going to be talking about the things I think are working, the things I think are not working, because I also have approximately a decade worth of video production professionalism under my belt as well. I've been doing that for money for quite a while. So, we're going to talk about the song. We're going to talk about the production of the song. We're going to talk about the production of the video. And the performance of the song by the musicians. So all of that being said, thank you for joining me. If you want to go watch this video or listen to this song without me, then I encourage even you to go do this, because that's not what we're going to do. We're going to stop it. I'm going to talk a lot, as I am wont to do, and it's going to be awesome, and you're going to enjoy it, or you're not, and you're going to leave me a bunch of hate in the comment section. Either way, I ain't mad at you. So, that being said, history of the band, a little bit of disclaimer. Yeah, I think we're ready to do this thing, baby. So, we were going to do this video, but I don't know. I just feel like this this looks more like an actual video we can talk about. But it's all garbage. All right, so we're gonna. This was the first one. Let the Sin Begin was the first song that didn't actually ever make it to go live on the channel. But oh man, here goes nothing. I was not super happy with the first video. I get the distinct feeling based off of the moving thumbnail that I'm not going to be super happy with this video because it's just, we'll talk about it. Okay, first and foremost, it's great that it starts off like this so that we can get into this right off the bat. I am not a fan of bands who put aesthetic over quality. If you are worried about what you look like and you make music for a living, then there is something broken in your head. I do like bands with crazy aesthetics. The Slipknot is one of my favorite bands, but they put the music first. The aesthetic is the afterthought. The music is what they're doing to scratch that itch, if you will. I don't get that feeling from these guys. I don't get the feeling of they have to make music. They don't know anything else. I get the feeling that these guys want to be freaking rock stars so that they can go spend stupid amounts of money at a stupid strip club. And also, they're trying to be as shocking as possible because shock is fun, I guess. It's 2020. How is this still anyone's idea of an attempt to be shocking? I don't get it. It's not shocking. It's stupid. It's well-trod ground. You are not the first to do this. You're not even the best to do this. So why bother?
Secret thoughts be marshaled into the movements of the flesh of that which I desire. Hail Psychosexual.
Very trite attempt at chant at their concerts. Okay, so right off the bat, something I do appreciate about this sound is whatever effect they've got going on this bass to make it sound like it sounds a little bit like it's a bit crusher, and it's also got this synthy thing going on. I'm digging that. The overproduction of everything else is a little annoying, but it could get better. All right, we have a verse, we have a bridge. This is going to be metal by numbers. I can see it already. Into a chorus. Whoa, weird. Like not even an AABA setup. It was straight ACB. And then we're going to go into another verse, so it's going to be another ACB, and then we might get a solo, and then it's going to be another chorus, and then an outro. Like, I can see all of these things coming. I just don't understand lazy musicians, man. I just don't even have the words. Like, is this a rap video? The metal videos haven't been like this since the 80s. And even then, it wasn't this flagrant and fucking obnoxious. Ah! And yes, I'm specifically talking about the scantily clad lady on the screen. Okay, so here is my issue with the vocal performance. There it is. So we have... Something along those lines. Our vocal line is approximately 3 notes. That gets very boring very fast. And it's not even like 3 impressive notes. It's not even... Even that would be something a little bit more sonically interesting. Those higher registers are, for whatever reason, like it takes a lot for a baritone or a bass to make an interesting vocal melody. Till from Rammstein can do it with ease, and the vocalist from Lord of the Lost also can do it very easily. And Terence Zdunick does it very, very well. Very, very well. If you don't know who Terence Zdunick is, look him up. Zdunich, Zdunick. Yeah, but this guy's a baritone. He's a tenor baritone, so he's kind of bottom end of tenor, top end of baritone. Not at all bass, but like living here, just... You're not, and you shouldn't have to like flex every time you're doing something, but like try making it more interesting. This has got to be one of the most boring vocal melodies I've heard in a long time. Oh no, he said the F word. Like, you're not edgy, bro. I don't understand why this is anyone's idea of being on any sort of... You're is edge lord, sure, but that's not a good thing. That's not something to aspire to. Stop pausing on there. So we've got... I'm not even going to try and figure the rest of the chords out, but we're sitting right here in, what is that? That's B. C, sorry. No, that's right, B. So our vocal, or our tonal center for this song is B. I don't know. You don't have to sit on the root the whole time, and that seems to be what we're doing a lot, is coming a lot. It's difficult for me when something is this mediocre, because it's not even like bad, because the production's all right. We've got a pretty good drum tone going on. The bass player is kind of garbage, so we can't really hear what's going on with the bass, but that I wasn't expecting anything with that. The production, again, is good. We have the programmed elements, which are effective, but just the amalgamation of everything together is not good, but it's not bad either. So when something is this glaringly mediocre, it's like this is when I have issue with putting into words what's wrong with it, because like it still kind of works, because obviously they got a record deal, right? So they know a little bit of, partially due to probably dude's pedigree, but still, it's just boring music exists so that we can know what not to do, and this is just more of that, I guess. Burn of desire. Our church is burn it down. Burn of desire. Something, give me more. I mean, you can totally do that for the verse, sure, that's fine, but have it become something bigger. We don't want to sit for the whole damn song. Each section should not sound the same. We should be able to build into something. There should be a crescendo overall so that you're keeping my interest the whole way through. And I'm just bitching at this point. Set this baby on fire. On fire. Yep. Bridge into, not even a solo, not even a guitar solo. And it's an extended chorus. So, like, that's slightly more than I was expecting. So, again, something that's working for this. We've got pretty good guitar tone. I don't think that's the guitar player's tone. I don't think that is what the guitar player walked into the studio saying, this is how my guitar sounds. These guys don't seem to have that kind of backbone. I feel like the reason this, because it also feels very produced. It sounds like this got re-amplified. Which, all right, so I guess I need to explain the term. If I'm going to use a term, I got to explain it, right? So, reamplification, Slipknot had a producer that did that for All Hope Is Gone. That's what Jim Root thinks, anyway, and that's why the recordings for All Hope Is Gone are some of his least favorite that they have done ever. So when you're listening to All Hope Is Gone, the record, keep that in mind, that the band, at least part of the band, but I would imagine most of the band, are not super happy with the way that record sounds because it was reamplified. What is reamplification? Reamplification is, so I walk into the studio and I'm playing, and just imagine this is a guitar, not a bass. So I'm playing, I was on the clean tone. So I'm playing, with a clean tone. Now, very likely, he was not exclusively playing with a clean tone. He's probably playing through an amp, so there was a distorted tone as well. But I bet the producer did some sort of splitter, so either a direct line splitter or something along those lines in the studio, and took the clean tone. You can do this with distorted tone as well. It's just not as effective. It's a little bit more tricky, and it usually lends itself to worse results. But so then when you re-amplify, you run that clean tone, so that becomes something along those lines, right? So, and then you can do that ad nauseum, because all you have to do is copy that original guitar audio file and try something new. So this guitar tone sounds very, very, very produced, very compressed, very undynamic, and usually that's the sign of an overzealous producer. Very few guitar players want their guitar to sound this compressed. Now, as you're listening to it on a recording, like we are here, it works because you can hear everything the guitar player is playing, but a lot of audiophiles don't like that because everything's at the same level. Live, though, that is not the way it sounds, and therefore that's why most guitar players don't like overly compressed, overly processed sounds on their recordings, because then you never will sound like that live. It's not even a matter of sounding that good. It's just a very different sound. So, I mean, never is probably not the right word, but that's just not how any good guitar player, or most guitar players in general, want to sound on stage. You want dynamics. You want certain sections to hit harder than other sections of your songs, because it's how music works. It ebbs and it flows, and it elicits a response from the listener. So the guitar tone, this is just a long way of saying the guitar tone sounds fine, sounds pretty good, actually. I really like the way that the producer is using the distortion, but it's just overly produced and therefore mediocre. There's no other better way of saying it. There's too much production going into that. The best way to do it is just walk in, put a couple of mics on the amplifier, and have them. And then there you go. You have your sound because that's what the guitar player wants to play. But again, it seems like these guys don't have that much backbone. So the producer's like, let's try a thing. And I'm totally rambling about this. There is so... This guy, this vocalist here, this cat right here, has such a potential for a better platform because he's in one of the most famous bands on the planet, or he was at one point, and then he left to start this. Like it's like, I can't even put this into words properly because it's so mind-blowing that you left a band. And say what you will about Five Finger Death Punch, they know how to work dynamics. They know how to orchestrate a song. They know how to work this business. Zoltan Bathory, the lead guitar player, is a very smart man when it comes to music theory, and there's a lot of very interesting stuff in their music. Granted, again, the amalgamation of all of those interesting things isn't always equal to the sum of its parts, but still, there are elements of Five Finger Death Punch that are easily defensible in any conversation with any audiophile. There is nothing about this that is defensible. The best you can say about any of these elements, even, is that this is mediocre. And the sum of its parts is barely that ever.
Burn the fucker to the ground.
It's just so disappointing on all levels. Just because I want there to be only great, amazing music in this world. It doesn't all have to be metal. Like, by no means do I intend that. But God, if this is what we have, if this is our option for metal, I would never listen to the genre again. This is trash. And I've been going way too long on this. So we're just going to go into the end screen. Screw it. What did you guys think of my analysis of the song? What did you think of the song? Let's talk about that in the comment section. Are you a fan of Five Finger? Does that then translate into you being a fan of Psychosexual? I'm really interested to hear that bit, so let's have that conversation if you are one of those people. I'm interested, honestly, to hear somebody's defense of this band because this is the second time I've listened to them, and I will very likely never listen to them again, ever. This is garbage. So thank you, nerds. They're gonna head out here. 2 boxes right here below my face. You can click or tap anything going on in there, so you can check out other stuff going on the channel. Check the subscribe button right there between them. If you haven't already, click. I meant to say, if you haven't already subscribed, then definitely do that. Thank you very much, nerds, for supporting. GenerallyNerdy.net is the website. Patreon.com/GenerallyNerdy if you want to support. Before we officially sign off, always remember that if it is generally nerdy, it's probably here. I just messed up the tagline.